Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. I'm going to be talking about something very, very important in this presentation. It's called being hungry. You may call it something else, you may call it your desires, but I'll call it being hungry. Right. I'm thinking of life is such that everybody wants something. Everybody desires something. But how come many people never achieve or they never realize all that they want? Why is it that many people, their desire end in their dreams? It ends in them just sharing them with people what they want. Why? Why is this so? That brings me to why I decided to take this presentation, being hungry. That in life, if you are hungry for something, it's really not easy. If you really desire something, if you want something in life, it's really not easy. And some people may make it to be. They may tell you, oh, it's just, luck. It happened by chance, coincidence, or whatever it may be. No. If you want something really good in life, you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. And this plan starts with you. What are you ready to give to have these things? Like, so many be made to believe in having things that they do not work for. Having things that they do not have anything to give. No, it's never so. It's never so. You've got to have something to give to have what you want, what you desire. And then I come to think about it. Right. If you really want something terribly, you have to be ready to go for it. It doesn't matter your background. No, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. No. It's simply because there is that greatness in you. There is greatness within you. That greatness within you knows no bound. I'm going to tell you a little story about a man who was born by parents, well, I call it, they were not planned to be born. He was a twin in the United States. The father went for war. And then during that process, the mother had some kind of relationship that brought about the birth of this gentleman. And after the birth, at the age of 6, the mother decided to give this gentleman, who actually happens to be twin, up for adoption. Giving them up for adoption to a lady who wasn't so, I mean, she didn't have much, nothing really, but she never had children of her own, but she wanted to raise children. This lady picked up this gentleman I'm talking about now and his twin brother and began to raise them. Things were not easy for them. The lady who adopted them actually adopted 5 other children, making them 7 of them. And she was a single mother. She had to raise these children. She did everything that was possible to put food on their table, put clothes on their body, put shoes on their feet. Then this gentleman grew up and saw the way life was with his adopted mother, and he was so passionate. He wanted something really more from life. He said the adopted mother was somebody who works in houses, like a housekeeper, helping very rich family. She'll cook for them, clean for them, and things like that. That one day he told the adopted mother and said, when I become a man, you will never have to do all this job. When I become a man, I'm going to buy you one of these mansions that you are cleaning for people. Then really he turned 18 and started working. He said he had a friend where they were doing door-to-door sales. They will go from door, knock on doors, see what people want, just advertise to them and say, do you want this? Specifically, they were marketing television sets. That they'll go from door to door, people will bang doors of them, and one day, with the partner that he was going together from door to door, after they banged a couple of doors on them, the guy went back to the car, said, right, I can't do this. I'm going back to the car. You will meet me in the car when you've had enough. He said he continued. He said he thought to himself, I have no father. My mother is sick. I've got to do this thing. I have no other option. Continue. Knocking on doors, and they will say, oh, would you like to buy a nice working television? They will slam down on him. Boom! Would you like to buy a nice working television? They will slam down on him. Boom! After a while, he said he no longer took it personal. He believed that there is a yes somewhere. And he just kept going. Then he got to a time where he said he knocked on the door, and then somebody actually opened the door to find out what he was selling. And the person said, how much is it? And they said, oh, are you sure? So the person was actually surprised. He said he would complete his sales, and then he would continue like that. After a while, he would go back and meet the business partner that they were supposed to be knocking these doors together, that gave up. He would have completed some sales, and that was it. That really, if you want something really from life, it's not easy. You have to be ready to go for it. The young man continued with this. Dr. says he had another time where, you know what, he really wanted to work in a TV station. Had no background, had no experience of working in a TV station. That he went to a local TV station and told them, I would like to work here. And they said, oh, do you have any broadcasting background? He said, no. They said, we are sorry, there is no job for you. he went home. The next day, he went back to the same place to ask the same question. Say, oh, I would like to work in this place. And they said to him, do you have any radio or presenting experience? He said, no. Do you have any qualification around public communication, anything like that? He said, no. They said, we are sorry, we do not have any job for you in this place. He continued like that. And the third day, he went back to the same place, and he met the same man. The same man asked him, I said, oh, were you not the same guy who came here twice, yesterday and the other day? He said, yes. I said, right, I'm just checking, just in case somebody may have been laid off or somebody may have died. He said, no, we are sorry, nobody has died and nobody has been laid off. He continued this way. He did this a few times. That one other day he came, and the man asked him, I said, and you know, the same person that have been here 3 times to ask for this same opportunity? And we said, yes. And the man got angry and said, right, go in the kitchen there and make me a cup of tea. He said, yes, sir. So he went, make him a cup of tea. And from there, he became an errand boy for the radio station. So they need somebody to send to do anything for them. They will send this gentleman. He will go make them coffee. Got to a time where they have people who were coming to the radio station to perform and do things like that. They started sending this guy to go and be picking them up from airport, from bus stations, from train stations, and things like that. He would drive them around, and that was the beginning of his journey. He wanted something really, really from life. This is what he wanted. He did those things, then said, while doing this thing, he would go home when he see what they were doing and practice, preparing for opportunity. Just like they say, where they say, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Young man will go home, every day practice his skills of how to present on the radio. One day, he was in this same place, and the presenter started drinking while he was on the air. And suddenly, he started falling asleep. He started slurring in his speech, and the director observed him from afar and phoned and said, oh, can you look for somebody who will be able to cover this place? This gentleman, Rob, can no longer continue with his presentation. He said, I know. He said, okay, you phone around and see if you could get somebody. He said he did it before. He waited. After about half an hour or something, the director phoned back and said, oh, have you found anybody? He said, no. And the director asked him, can you work the radio? And he said, yes. He jumped on the seat and started presenting what he's been practicing. That was the beginning of his radio presenting. You see, what am I saying? That if you want something from life, you know what? You put all in. It's never easy, as some people will make us to feel that it's easy. That you can just pray and have what you want. No. There will be a lot of obstacles. There will be a lot of people that may not be, that do not need to be in your life, that have to leave. There may be people that you need to meet to be able to achieve your goal. Sometimes you have to let some people go. A man says, he says, if you walk with somebody, there is something that happened that we do not think about. You adjust to one person's pace of walking. You don't think about it. If you're working with somebody who is slow walking or a fast walker, but all of a sudden, you know what? You start walking at the same pace. Why? Because of you adjust. This is something that just happened, but you don't think about it. This is life. So if you want something really from life, you are hungry for something, yes, there might be a need for you to let some people go off your life. There'll be a need for you to make some decisions that people would think you are crazy. I remember myself when I decided to train. After I've been doing all sorts of jobs, I decided, right, I need to do something for myself. When I went home, I called my family together. I said, right, listen, I have done so much for everyone. I'm going back to study. For the next few years, this is what I'm going to be doing. I may not be able to support everybody like I have been doing before. I had to make that decision because I was desperate for a change. I needed a change. I made a lot of sacrifice for my family until that very moment. I had an admission a couple of times to go and study, but I defied them for different reasons. But this time, I said, no, I'm taking the bull by the horn. And I did. It was tough. I had some friends who wasted my time on the telephone. You know, they found me become boring. It wasn't longer, I was no longer the kind of person they wanted because, you know, I didn't have that time to be on the phone. I had to plan my time because I had a family to look after. I had a job that I was working on the side. Then I had my study. That's really not easy if you want something from life. It's that from you've got to believe first that there is that greatness in you, you can do anything. But then, believing alone does not stop. That's the foundation. That is where it starts. So tell me, what is it that you want from life today? What are you ready to give? You got to be ready to give something. Life gives nothing to you for nothing, give you nothing for nothing. No, there has to be something you are ready to give to achieve that dream. You cannot waste your time on the telephone, on social media, watching people who are working on their dreams and expect yourself to be able to achieve your dream. No, stop being a spectator. Go out there. There is greatness in you. Go out there and get that thing done. What do you want? What do you want from life? If you do not know how to do it, then ask questions. Start by asking questions. Someone said, anything worth doing is worth doing well. My mentor says, he said, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. If you don't know how to do it badly, and then you will find yourself in it somehow. You will learn from your mistakes. Nobody was born knowing everything or knowing anything that they do. We all learn everything from this place. We all learn from this place. There is something special about you, you know, and unless you make that decision to go out here, unless you make that decision, step out from your comfort zone. Get up in the morning. Get up before people get up in the morning and do something with your life, or stay up late. Don't let them deceive you. They tell you that you must have to sleep, you must sleep 8 hours a day to be this. No. You have to be ready to break some laws. You cannot be sleeping. You can't be sleeping 8, 10 hours a day, and then go and do a job where you go work for somebody else and expect to be able to work on your dreams. No, no, no. I remember when I was during my undergraduate, I stayed up late at midnight. Sometimes I would sleep 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. What was I doing? Because I was chasing my goal. I needed something desperately. I had friends in uni who, they will have, their dreams was, oh, they want to pass. So if I get a 40, I'm okay. Okay. You want to score a 40, I'll be okay. That's absolutely fine for you. But I'm chasing 90. I want 80, 90, possibly 100. When result comes out, when they release our result, sometimes you find out I scored 78, 80, 60 something, and I will feel very bad because I knew my goal. I was shooting for the moon. And then when I see my result, then I'll say, oh, this is what I scored. And say, oh, why are you still complaining? He said, I just managed to score 42. I said, you actually did better than me because your goal was to score 40. But that wasn't my goal. I was aiming for 90. I wasn't just saying it, I was putting the time in. What do you want from life? The world is waiting for you. There is something greatness. There is greatness within you. You're not just here to live, to just go to a job that you're not happy with and to die. No. You are here to live, and to when you die, you will leave a legacy. You are here to do good works. You are here to do good works. Imagine you live in this life, you live and then you die at, you get to 60, 70 or whatsoever, or even 80, and then you die. You see, nobody ever remembers you. The only thing they know, say, oh, he was a good man. Leave a legacy in this place. And you can only achieve this by being able to find out those things that you were actually created to do. Not by doing everything. Something you were created specifically for a purpose. There is something that you were created to do. Not everything. You were not created to do everything. You cannot be jack of all trades. But then you have to keep doing whatever you can find your hands to do until you fall into that very thing that you were created to do. You see a lot of people today, people who they hate to go to a certain job. They do jobs that they are not happy with. I remember when I used to work as a nursing assistant in a particular hospital. And then I see people, some nurses and some support staff and others, before the end of the shift, you see, they have their bags ready, they're ready to run out of the door. They hate to be in that environment. But then you see some, they are very relaxed. They don't see it like a job. No. They are very relaxed. What's the difference? When people are going to a particular job, they are scared. A recent study shows that in America, the heart attacks rate actually increased with about 35% on a Monday morning. Why? Because people are so paranoid about going to where they are going to the jobs they are going to. They are so paranoid because they are doing something that's not them. If you're doing something that's actually you, you see, you are happy to go to your work. You're happy to go there. Just like the saying that says, if you find something that you love to do, you will never have to work again. You just do it with joy. I see it every day in my workplace. You know, people who, you know what? It's all about the money. I remember a young man one time who, when I was working in a private hospital a few years ago, very early in the morning, came into work. There was a gentleman, one of the patient who needed to be supported with personal care. And then they called this gentleman to go and help. He felt so bad, you know. Then I called him. I said, my friend, come here. What's the problem? He said, I hate doing personal care. I said, right. So when you were coming to this place this morning, what was your intention? He looked at me. He could not answer me. Did you think you were coming here to count money? Did you think you were coming here to play football? This is a place where you help people in a hospital who cannot help themselves. And this is the number one task that you are expected to do. But now you feel so bad that you're being asked to help somebody with personal care. My friend, maybe you should find a different job. This is not for you. He wanted to defend and tell me why he could. I said, no. Before you apply for this job, look at it. The job description will tell you. Part of this job involves you helping people with personal care. Why do people do things that are not them? We were all created for a purpose. All fingers are not equal. We all have definite things that you are created for. You need to find out what you are created for. You were not created just to eat, sleep, and die. No. There is something special about you. Try different things. If you don't know, if you're not sure. I've tried different things in my life. I've tried all sorts of anything you could do. I did cleaning jobs. I work in construction. I work in the lab. Huh? So if you really, really want something for your life, it's not easy. But what you can do is find out that thing that is you. And the moment you find out that thing that's you, you find out you do it with joy and with ease and with fun. You were created to do good works. You're not created to just be a non-entity. To be somebody who just go and work, come home, feel, some people just live their life. When I see people sometimes, I say, listen, you've been doing this job for so long and you're still like this. Because you don't know yourself. You haven't taken time to listen to yourself. There is something special about you. You're not meant to just walk, do some horrible things that you do not like and die. No. There is something. There's a purpose that you need to fulfill on this earth before you leave. Imagine on the dying bed, people will be happy to see their families sit by them as they cross over, as they die. What if you lay on the bed and all the dreams, all the goals, all the purpose that you were designed, you were created to fulfill on this earth, they will be staring at you. That we came to you, but you refused to give us life. You are special. You're specially created. Find out what you were meant to do in this place and leave a mark in this place before you leave. And until we meet again, God bless you. Thank you.